the beauty of it all is that I can do this from anywhere. Oh, did I say I'm a Jamaican living in Jamaica? Yes, freelancing is a thing. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So I did promise a video talking about why and how I started as a freelancer, so that's what we're doing today. So if it's your first time watching, welcome. As I said before, this is just a channel about my life. As you can see, the name is Embracing Life, and it's spelled wonky because my last name is Singh, and that's why you have the spelling there. So it was the year 2010, and backstory for those who don't know, I don't know if you can hear the birds, they're flying by. Backstory for those who don't know, I have a traditional job and I'm also a freelance writer. So I write web content and I do a little copywriting here and there. I've been doing it for over 10 years, a little bit over 10 years based on when I started. At the time, I was working at a cell service distributor. So I wasn't working for the actual cell company, but they had a distributor. Does that make sense? Something kind of like a... Yeah, you understand what I say? I was working Claro. It was a Claro distributor. If you remember Claro or are aware of Claro. So I was working there, and initially my ex-husband's mother would take care of the baby during the day. So we would just go to work and come home and he would be there. Then she started, she had her schedule changed and she had some sort of commitment on some evenings. So she would leave out probably around 3:30. At that point, my mom found somebody who she knew who was willing to keep the baby for a couple of hours. And so we were doing that. And then that person lived off at the time. None of us were driving. So that person lived off of the main road. So when I left work, then I had to get a taxi. I had to ask the taxi driver if he would be willing to turn off of the main so I could go and pick up the baby. He would have to in turn ask the other passengers if they were okay with it. Sometimes they weren't okay with it. It was just really a hassle, you know? So there was that. Eventually, I found that there was a daycare center close to my workplace, and I decided, okay, you know what? I'm gonna just take this child to daycare. I do believe that his grandmother's schedule changed again and she was unable to keep him during the daytime hours. So I said, all right, this daycare is right there, so I'm gonna give it a try. Started out at daycare. No, the next obstacle was again taking a taxi with a baby. As I said, he wasn't yet 1 year old. So when I would take a taxi down into the town, before baby, I would just walk to my workplace. It was a good little walk, but I could manage the walk, and I could manage the walk back in the evening as well to get a taxi from where I would get a taxi from. No, Antonio was a big baby, and of course you're going to daycare, so you have the baby and you have the baby's bag. In the morning, it wasn't too bad because I could always ask the taxi driver to just drop me down once he had dropped off his passengers in the town. In the evening, now it was a whole nother thing because there weren't like taxis from that area going uptown. So I would have to walk with this child and him bag and my bag. Did that for a little bit, and it was a bit stressful. At the time my ex-husband was working, he was wearing a uniform. He only had 3 uniform shirts, so I had to be washing like every other day basically to make sure that him have a shirt to wear to work. And it was just getting too overwhelming physically, and it wasn't, the financial compensation was not worth all the physical effort. That makes sense? And then my manager was being an A. So at the time I was doing inventory. My primary job was inventory, and I was doing inventory across, I don't remember how many stores there were, but she had multiple stores. And there was somebody who worked in the front of the store who did the actual selling of the phones and whatever. Whenever they had to go on lunch, I had to go and man out there, and it was not penciling out. It just never make any sense. And as I said, she was starting to get more and more demanding, and she wasn't willing to compensate for the more demands that she was putting on me. So I said, something's gotta give. It don't make no sense. Put it down on paper, it don't make no sense. None whatsoever. So I said, I have to find something that allows me to stay at home so I can take care of this child, because his care was taking up a good chunk of the income. And then again, I don't know, like when he's at home and when he was going to daycare, he needed all of this extra food that he didn't need when he was at home. So there was that expense as well. So it was just crazy. So I decided one day, I think my boss did annoy me into quitting, and I just got up and quit. I couldn't take anymore. I just quit. I think I just called in the morning and say I wasn't coming back to work. If I remember correctly, that's what happened. I just called in and said I wasn't gonna come back to work. I forfeited my notice pay and all of that. I just said, listen, it's not working for me. I'm not coming back to work. So I then decided it would be awesome if I could find something that I could do at home and make an income, so I wouldn't have the expenses of childcare, I wouldn't have the expenses of transportation, wouldn't have the additional expense of investing in sensible lunch and all of that stuff. So I started searching, and my search got me to, which is what is it now? Is it freelancer.com now? And it used to be getafreelancer.com. Let me check. I'm on my laptop. Yes, so it's freelancer.com now. So it used to be getafreelancer.com. So I signed up on that website. I signed up on People Per Hour. I signed up on, there was a third one at the time that I signed up on. Don't remember. Anyhow, I catch my first fish on getafreelancer.com. Freelancer.com. Back then it was getafreelancer.com, but I got my first job and it was ridiculous, cheap. Anyhow, I remember I got a job to write some content, and it was like, I think it was like 3 500-word pages, and the person was paying $5. And I said, what the worst thing could have happened? So I went ahead, I did the 5 pages, got paid my $5, and when the money came out of pending, because when they pay you, it says pending. I don't remember for how long, because I haven't used this website in ages, and it was there saying pending. And I remember when it was released, and I was like, oh my god, I was so excited. That's like my most exciting $5 in my whole life. So I was excited about that. So once I saw that, at that point, I didn't stop looking for jobs. So I was still looking for jobs on the website, as well as on People Per Hour and the other one, which I can't remember what it is right now. So I super excited, get paid this $5, have this $5 on the website. How do I get this $5 to me? So I started researching. I could use PayPal, and then I would have to hit a certain amount of money before PayPal would mail me a check, like physically mail me a check, and then that I got to take forever. Me I say, ah. And then there was the option for Payoneer, which is the option that I chose. So I signed up for my Payoneer account, get my Payoneer card, verify myself, some real, all of that good stuff. And by that time, I had a little bit of money I could withdraw onto the Payoneer card. And I was super excited. Remember, I was living in Manchester. And I went down to the Scotia Bank and go withdraw my US dollars, and then went across the road to the Cambio and changed my little money. I was like, oh my God, this is money in my hand. This is tangible. I wrote a few pages. And it was just a little bit of money, but me get the money in my hand. So I was like, this can work, this can work. So I started from there. I was on Freelancer for a while. I told my brother about it, my younger brother. He went on there, he found work, all that good stuff. He was also doing content writing at the time. So he's the one that actually put me on to Upwork. Now Upwork, back then it was Odesk, right? Odesk. So I learned about Odesk, and shortly after I learned about Odesk, I learned about Freelance. I think so it did name Freelance. So I started on Odesk, got my first client, got my first review. Yes, things are happening. Fast forward to 2011. 2011. I've been doing this freelance writing for a while. That's the only thing I'm doing. I'm staying home with my baby, doing my freelancing during the daytime, getting my little money every week, every Friday. I go down at the bank and draw my money. It'll work. We got pregnant again. Second baby in 2000 and when I born in 2010. That same year, yes, we got pregnant. And Aiden came along in 2011, and freelance business was just booming, like literally. My husband at the time, he went back to school. I was working and supporting the whole family. The bulk of the financial support was on me just from working as a freelance writer, and we were paying rent and bills and everything. So in 2012, as I said, I was on Odesk and Freelance. Once I moved over to Odesk, I gradually phased out my freelancer people over at freelancer.com. I stopped going over there. Odesk was offered more stability. It was safer in terms of the clients. They had more things in place to keep you safe against scammers. Because yes, there are people out there that give you work to do and then disappear. There's people out there. I remember this lady. Oh my God. I worked with this lady for weeks. She had a writing agency, and I would get paid religiously every week from that lady. And I remember when she said to me, she got to the point where she said, once she pays a freelancer more than $600, I have to fill out this form for tax purposes. I filled out the form and sent it to the lady, and you guys, me don't hear nothing from her since then. And I had done, as I say, I would get paid every week. So that last week, I would have gone over the $600. I think the woman run with 100 and something US dollars for me. Wicked woman. Anyway, moving past that, moved over to Odesk. As I said, Odesk offered more stability, more security, better paying jobs as well. So I started focusing more on Odesk. I did get a 1 and 2 job on Elance, but my primary focus was Odesk. And in that time, I stopped using Payoneer, and now I had the opportunity to have my funds sent directly to my bank account, which made life a lot easier. That happened in 2012, which was great because it cut down my fees a lot, and I was having more disposable income at the end of the day because I didn't have to pay the fees, because Payoneer had their own fees. So there was a withdrawal fee, I believe. Every time I put money on the card, there was a fee. There was monthly fees, and if you didn't use the card X amount of times for the month, you'd get charged this particular fee, and blah 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 blah. And then of course there was fees when I actually withdrew the money at the ATM. So there were a couple fees that I was able to cut out by getting the option to send my funds directly to my bank account. Fast forward, Odesk and Elance joins up and turns themselves into what is now known as Upwork. And as I said, Upwork is where now all of my focus is on Upwork. All of the clients that I'm working with right now, I did find them through Upwork. Yes, and I have had numerous long-term relationships through clients that I found on Upwork, and it has just been amazing. And the beauty of it all is that I can do this from anywhere as long as I have an internet connection. And nowadays, it used to be that once I have an internet connection and a laptop, I could work from anywhere. Nowadays, I just need my phone. And you know that if you have your phone, you have an internet connection basically everywhere. Basically everywhere you have a data plan on your phone. I can practically do everything on my phone thanks to Google Docs and all of them something here. So it's amazing. So that sums up my how and why I got into freelancing. And if you like this video, and if you'd like to know more about freelancing, oh, did I say I'm a Jamaican living in Jamaica? Yes, freelancing is a thing. I remember the other day. Oh, guys, and there's Fiverr as well. I have used Fiverr, but as I say, Upwork is my main source of finding clients. But anyhow, I was watching a video the other day, a Jamaican YouTuber, and she was saying, oh, Jamaicans don't know about Fiverr. And I was like, I'm a Jamaican and I know about Fiverr. I use it both as a seller and as a buyer, and I know other Jamaicans that are on Fiverr that are sellers on Fiverr. So you can go on there and get stuff from logo design, editing, video, everything, anything where you want, you can find it on Fiverr. Just go on over there, voiceovers, animated videos, everything. Before all of these doodly and all of them something here, you could have get them something there over Fiverr. Somebody would do it for you. If you'd like to hear more about freelancing and the work that I do as a freelance writer, anything at all, you can ask me down below. If you want me to do more videos on freelancing, I definitely will do that. Like I said, I've been doing it now for over 10 years, and it's been good to me the whole time. The times when it wasn't being good to me is when I was slacking off. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the like button. Guys, nobody now hit the like button for my video them. Like when I just started, I would get likes. Now I'm not getting a like, so one like me I get for my video them. Please hit the like button. Comment down below. As I said, if you have any questions or comments, drop them down below, and I'll see you in the next one. No lies, I not see you. You'll see me in the next one. Bye.